coming to you live on your chin. Oh, kid. Oh. This is the Goin Deep Show.
I want to go deep.
Going deep, deep, deep.
Fuck it. Fuck it. Literally. Fighting for the powers of evil. Because good is dumb, it's Goin Deep Show time. Hi guys. Me the kid. I'm in here. Somebody's throwing some alcohol down my throat. Holy shazammer whammers. This thing is really tasty. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna feel good. And I need to feel good today. Got some nervousness kicking. It's the rarity that I have nervousness kicking at the old man age that I am. But welcome to the Is it kicking in already? My mouth is like slurry.
It might be.
Joining me today, this fine day of ours, Nurse Fiona.
Fucking right.
Wait. Fiona. Okay, I have too much fun with that shit.
Straight up out of the fucking armpit, the asshole, the fucking gullet of the fucking city.
Of the crotch of the mitt. Isn't that, I always call that the crotch of the mitt.
Crotch of the mitt.
Right where the
crotch of the mitt.
Right where the sweaty, nasty sediment settles in.
Like I work in the nut sack that the mitt holds.
I have not had a girlfriend in the past who was more into how stinky I was than my past girlfriend. Endo loved my smelly, nasty. I'd cut the grass, do a bunch of shit around she wanted to just dive into the.
She wanted to fucking like slurp up some of them fucking ball sweats.
Yeah. I was like just insane with this. I was like, I've never met a girl who's had this. Maybe she was into Mexican food. I don't know what it was. If I oozed tortillas or some type of.
Or like some pheromone shit going on.
You're into Taco Bell? Would you be into Smelly Mexican, guys?
I mean, if your fucking sweat smelled like goddamn,
mild sauce.
I don't know. I'm kind of digging the breakfast salsa these days. It's pretty fucking.
Have you ever
tasty.
like really seen a guy? Was attracted to him, but they had like a different kind of like scent to them, where it's like
they're attractive, but they
pheromones are a huge thing. I think the smell of somebody.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
I've had girls who I've been stupid though. I've been really stupid. I've dumped girls because they were clumsy before.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Because they fell down a hill or they tripped on something.
Like, really?
Really. I swear to God I did.
Well, it's not for you. I guess it's not for you.
I mean, if you're going to create some type of if you've seen my daughters, right?
Yeah.
They're like gorgeous, good-looking girls and stuff. I don't know if I didn't have any intentions of having children.
I didn't
have any intention of having children, but when I did think about it, if I ever did have a kid, I was like, okay, would I really want to breed with this?
No, that's exactly fucking right. My kids are all fucking cute little adorable kids.
Yeah.
And, both parents are pretty fucking smart.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say very smart, actually. But, no, you do. You look at people. That's kind of natural. That's why when you are... Most people don't... Okay. One of my favorite things to say is I don't fuck ugly people.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Which, it doesn't really apply at this point anyway, but... It doesn't necessarily ring 100% true because I'm not into beefcake. I'm not into like a certain particular build or size or height or fucking whatever. I mean, if you look like you just fucking smashed your face against a cheesy grater, probably not gonna it's not gonna work. But I dated somebody that I would probably never in a million years on first glance go, oh shit, motherfucker was like about as tall as he was fucking wide. But we were friends, and I became attracted to the fucking personality. Personality
is great. It goes a long way, for sure.
Yeah, big fucking time. And it turned out to be a disaster. But, however, I had a lot of fun before it was a disaster.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that motherfucking, he wasn't fat because he couldn't eat. He was fat because he could eat. Okay.
Going through what I'm going through right now with these apps, and seeing these faces, and swiping and doing all this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
My constant reminder that I have is, if I'm going to stand next to this person in a photo, am I going to be like, oh yeah, we look good together?
Yeah.
We don't. You do. This is how you approach relationships. I think, and you've done it since you were interested in other human beings. Like my 13-year-old is going through that right now. You can tell You can tell.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the age. Fuck, 12.
It's weird. It's very strange and bizarre.
Well,
and the reason I'm bringing this up is because today's the first day I'm going to meet somebody through an app.
Yeah.
This is going to be an interesting day. It's going to make for great stories because from what she's told me so far, she's as fucked up as I am.
That's the best. That's the fucking best. You find somebody that is fucking ridiculous and just stupid or whatever, like just acts retarded, you know, laughs at the same fucking stupid or like, you know, really fucking dark shit or racist shit if you're that way. Or,
She did use the retard word.
good for her to fucking let it.
Yeah, she let it fly. And I was like, wait, okay, all right. Here we go. My hesitation is always with my podcast. This podcast right here you're listening to. I have had women come into this thing first introduced to the show. Okay, yeah, this is cool. It's a whole environment. It's a good thing. And it steadily went to the fucking shitter.
They didn't like what they heard.
I think they didn't like hearing every little thing in my brain. I really don't.
Well, here's the thing.
Because they couldn't figure out if it was real. Is that the real you out there saying what you're saying? Or is when you get out of that room and you're just doing, you know, I think really what it was they heard me say all the shit that was in my inner dialogue during the rest of my life come out here. And they had to either first of all tell themselves, don't listen to that shit, or my curiosity is too fucking strong and I have to go hear what he really fucking thinks. So, yeah.
Well, and then there's a thing too that if like the whole trip, like the tripping down the fucking whatever, you dumped him because of whatever, you didn't want him to begin with. Not really. Because if you did, you wouldn't have cared. If they fucking, you know, fell over a goddamn side of a boat and,
yeah.
you know, you wouldn't give a shit.
I hate the fact that what you're saying right now is very true. I don't know how many times over the course of the last 2 girlfriends that I've had that I said to myself, I would be better off by myself. And for the past 2 to 3 months, I have totally proven that. I feel healthier. I'm doing the things I've liked. I've seen family and friends that I haven't seen in a while. My bank account is
Blown up out of nowhere.
Way better because having a girlfriend's like having another fucking child. It seemed like that to me. It really, really did. So I feel pretty damn good.
I'm curious about how things are going to go for me, you know.
My hesitation now is, okay, I'm going to go meet this person today.
Yeah.
I think I've done this on purpose. I think I've like I've made the distance far enough on purpose so that it seems like I'm eager to see what she's like and shit. But if we really do hit it off, we still live at a distance enough where we can have. She has her time. She has. I'm consciously putting this in my mind.
That's a wall kind of. Actually,
I'm not looking for somebody who lives 2 blocks away that can show up any fucking time so that they can bother me while I'm trying to get shit done and do things here in this podcast. It's just there's a lot of shit that goes on in your brain when you deal with this thing.
Well, the thing is too, you don't want somebody that's going to be up your fucking ass 24/7.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Nobody wants that. No.
I can't fucking stand that shit. Don't fucking follow me around.
Yeah.
Like a dog.
I go through.
That shit's not attractive.
I'm a Gemini, so I go through these. I'm a twin. They say there's 2 personalities inside me. And I'll agree there are. I'll get really, you know, I'm an artist. I'll jump from highs to lows, but I rarely feel like I go into the lows low enough to be, you know, super depressed or any of that kind of bullshit. I'm always like, I hover towards the middle. Yeah. You know, but then they come out of it with like, hey, let's do this. And, you know, my suggestions to everybody who hang out with me are, okay, if you really want to start hanging out, we're really going to hang out and do some shit and we're going to have a good time. Like I was kind of disappointed last night because LB, Silverback got a hold of me. Let's go do some stuff. We're going to go to the bar, go here. We jumped around. Went to the arcade last night. Yeah. Went to a couple bars in town, did a bunch of stuff, and I text LB, and I'm like, "Come on, man, let's go." He's only like a few blocks away, but he was tired. But this whole relationship thing, I'm like, I keep saying, you want to be by yourself, kid. Just don't even go into this. Why are you doing this right now? You know, and it keeps reminding me of a friend of mine who on the show we call the Rookie. Yeah. Yeah, and he was just the biggest poon hound ever. He was just, I don't know how he would do it. I think he relentlessly poked at girls. Hey, come on. I want to see a pic. And he would get more naked girl photos sent to him. Is
he a good looking man? Like, I mean, from your perspective as a dude.
Yeah. He's a handsome dude. He's in his like mid 30s.
Okay.
Just he's a good looking dude. He's a good looking.
And so obviously he's like the player. I'm not gonna get attached. I'm not going to tie myself down. Blah blah blah. He doesn't give a shit about fucking family and none of that.
No, he has a family or had a family with his then wife, who was also very attractive, curvy, gorgeous girl. But I think it was like an older high school relationship that kind of just it runs its course. It does.
Sometimes it's 25 years later, but yeah.
And that's so he would be. In fact, he's the one I should be talking to about dealing with this. I'm not saying anxiety. I have. It's not that bad. It's not bad at all. Especially after having half of.
This
Jesus
is fucking
Christ.
awesome.
What
right?
are we drinking?
They're MXD cocktail company.
It's my new favorite thing.
Long Island iced tea. 12% fucking alcohol will fuck you straight up. Especially you didn't fucking eat nothing. You're it's gonna hit you harder.
Yeah, I'm gonna show up to meet this chick today and be like, "What's up? How's it going? You guys, yeah. Nice to meet you." We're talking like fucking the Captain Jack Sparrow to her. Jesus Christ!
I actually did not fare badly. Fuck, that was tasty too. Even the fucking Vapor Lock fucking tastes good.
Oh, dude, wait. You call it Vapor Lock too?
Yeah.
When you fucking burp one in, you try to hold it as long as you fucking can. Yeah. Oh my God, I do that shit too. I'm like, burp. And you let it just kind of like emanate out of you. Just, ooh.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love fucking offending people with like the nastiest, loudest fucking like most deep bass fucking belt you can imagine. But sometimes I don't feel like it.
No, I love it too.
No, yes.
Vapor Lock. What is it? Why fart and waste it when you can burp and taste it, right? Is that that cheesy line from when you were in sixth grade?
If it's delicious, it's delicious. And this is fucking good shit. Fucking Long Island iced tea. Gas station fucking alcohol.
Well,
I mean, you can probably buy it other places, obviously, but I'm at the fucking goddamn gas station. I'm like, what is this with the parrot on it?
She drank so many of them that she forgot the name of them yesterday when we were trying to find it. What the?
I couldn't. I'm like,
what is that?
It's got tequila in it, and people order all the fucking time.
What's that drink? I'm like, if I would have known it was as simple as a Long Island iced tea, I'd have been. In fact, that ran through my head, and I was like, no, it can't be that. Can't be that. That's
nope.
Probably the most famous drink of any drink that the women or men get at the bar.
I have like COVID brain still.
You're duck. I hear you on that one.
Fucking sucks. It's not as bad as it was, but it started to clear up a little bit. I still get like the easiest shit. Just I'm like, what the fuck? And it's like, oh, a kitten. I'm like, fuck, a goddamn cat.
Yeah.
And people are like, how do you not remember these words or whatever? I'm like,
well, you with this, I wouldn't say stress. You got a lot on your brain. You got a lot on your mind. Your work is probably intense as shit. It probably goes through these like moments where, hey, nothing's going on, and then fucking everything's going on. That's the way I picture your world at work. Is that true? Do you have these moments of like a little bit of a lull where it's like, okay, catch my breath a little bit, and then boom, you gotta perform. You gotta here's where you gotta be. You know what I'm like?
It was
is those extremes?
And it depends on where I'm working. I worked my own unit the last 3 nights, and the first night on, they weren't my patients, but we had 2 rapid response codes. Back to back, literally back to back, like at the same time. And yeah, I don't know. It's like I don't get stressed out with that shit. I'm just like, okay, here's the defibrillator, here's the fucking whatever, here's the shit. Put the pads on, start recording.
Well, after you've done it for so long, it's probably just second nature. It was kind of almost. You were almost disgusted with me when I suggested that I could never work an overnight. You're like, fuck, overnight's the only thing I could do.
I was a fucking night shifter when I was a kid. I had to fucking lay in bed and just stare at the ceiling because I was not fucking gonna sleep.
Yeah.
So, no, it's like, but then there are nights like last night I was fucking livid. Okay, I fucking goddamn get there. Mm-hmm. I was lucky I made it on time to begin with. I fucking peeled in the parking lot.
Because you got 45 minutes worth of shut-eye.
Fucking fly into the goddamn side of the fucking building, punch in, run back out, fucking park my vehicle, and then come inside, and it's like, oh, I walk up and they're like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, well, I'm here every fucking Sunday, so that's what I'm doing here.
Oh, because it was the holiday weekend.
Yeah. And fucking, like, no, you took a voluntary to ER.
Oh, no shit.
I'm like, no, the fuck I did not. Well, apparently I did. They never bothered to tell me that I took the voluntary pull.
Oh.
So I'm like, well, I guess. So I go down there, and then I get pissed off, because like here I'm going to be fucking put into this trauma assignment that I'm not trauma certified. I help out down there. I don't work down there full time. So the TL was like, oh, team lead. She's like, oh, okay. Well, she calls the supervisor and she's like, maybe she can go to critical care and we can get a critical care nurse to come that can do this. And the supervisor's like, oh, they had a no-call, no-show, or they had somebody just didn't show up, so she's going to come back. And she's on the phone and she's like, are you fucking kidding me? She just throws the phone down. And I'm like, what? She's like, this has happened. You're going back to the floor. I'm like, are you...
So wait,
so much of my fucking time wasted that put me so far back.
Well, not just that. They told you were going to do something. Your mind has to immediately shift into that.
It totally did. I was ready to do ER.
And then you got to kick back. And
that's fine, because I got my patients back. That's what I was most pissed off about, because they split my patients up. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, that one's mine, that one's mine. I'm not sure I really fucking want that one back, but whatever. I know them, so I guess take it,
Yeah.
Fucker. Fucking. Oh. It's just one of those nights, and I was just in a bad fucking mood.
You don't get enough sleep. Dude, I'm that way. If I don't eat, I don't get enough sleep. I don't get a little bit of coffee.
That usually doesn't affect me, though. Oh,
I get so fucking pissed off. I think that's one of the reasons that one of our former hosts here on the podcast would constantly be... He's into or was into. He's not involved with us in here anymore because he's chosen not to be. Supposedly, one of us is dead to each other. I think we're dead to both of each other. Okay, at this point, Mr. Clean, who was on this podcast, is going to shock many of you out there, has decided to be a snowflake and not be on this podcast because he heard words that came out of my mouth and didn't like them and cried and threw stools. And he's now...
He didn't throw stool.
Oh, he didn't throw poo-poo. He didn't throw poo-poo, caca, doodle. No, he threw bar stools. And to me, if I say words that you can't handle because that's how I feel, then your feelings don't matter because you're not taking into account how I feel. So either way, he's not involved with this anymore. But there's a lot of sensitivities apparently there when it comes to the words.
You think he won't come back?
He usually goes through these 18 to 24 month stretches. So
fucking Christ.
Like I've always said here on this podcast, it's an open door policy here for every single person who's ever been in this show. That everyone who comes in here has to understand. I don't have 14 things written down that I'm going to talk about. It's whatever.
I can't imagine.
Plops into my head. So if he comes in here and he's rip-around ready to go be drunk, have a good time, and I haven't had my coffee yet, and you say something that is just like boring or dull or nobody wants to fucking hear that, you have to remember there are people out there listening to us say shit, and you have to somehow command their attention. You have to do it. Whether it's you screaming fucking, finger in my butt.
Yes.
Or me talking about going on to meet some girl for a dating app, or how much Endo used to love my fucking nasty ball smells. You have to somehow have some type of entertainment value. Otherwise,
nobody's gonna fucking listen.
People get turned off. They turn the fucking shit off. I've heard from many people like, "Hey, I listen to the show. I can't deal with hearing Mr. Clean say the most boring things ever. And as soon as I hear him say some boring crap, I turn it off." Okay, so I can only go by what listeners have told me. Okay? If you come in here, monkey, let's fucking jump around, okay? You barking dog.
I'm telling you what.
You barking, biting dog. You only a barking dog. Getting beat so much can handle. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm not afraid to say what is on my mind, and that seems to be the only thing that he brought to the table, the scared of what he can't say. I don't want to hear what you can't say or what you don't want to say when we're hanging out
like
off
the whole
mic.
Time?
Off the mic, he would tell these great stories, all these things about ABCD, whatever it was. I'm like, Clean, why don't you bring this fucking shit up while we're recording a goddamn show, man? I don't know. That's scary. I can't deal with that.
Why? See, like, that's the thing.
I think he's afraid to be himself. He shows people a certain thing. He has these departmentalized little worlds where here's where my people live here, and then I deal with those people, and then here's my people I deal with over here, and here's my people I deal with. I have one life. I don't have time to fucking start dividing everybody up in these little camps and try to appease these people, then try to appease these motherfuckers over here, and then try to appease these. Just be your fucking self. Tell the stories that you have. What I work in this industry that I can't say this and I can't. Then be creative. Make some fucking shit up. Make it the fuck up. Just be entertaining.
Well, that's true, because that's Pinkie Pie and I. We do that on our fucking show. We fucking, we'll tell a story.
I love clean like a brother, and this is why I can say this to him, because we will fight. You will fight with your family. We will fight with close friends the way you do with the way you do this.
I don't do that.
And he's got an open door with me. I'm like you a little bit in the way where if you want to be cut off, I will cut you the fuck off for the rest of your goddamn life. I don't give a shit if I ever fucking lay my eyes on you, see you, hear you, whatever. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I will be that way. But when it comes to this podcast, I always will encourage everybody to, good, bad, the ugly. I want people to bring their stories in here and even call my ass out. I don't know how many times I told that motherfucker, call me out. Go right ahead. Guess what I'm going to have? A fucking creative, entertaining fucking answer for you. Just be better.
I don't fight with my friends.
There's no reason to.
I have one friend that we got we kind of got into a little bit of a fucking pissing match. He got back together with his ex-girlfriend, and suddenly, it was like, well, I don't have time for you anymore. And I fucking called him out on it.
I hate that. I absolutely fucking hate that. And that was one of the things that my last girlfriend, or two girlfriends, my wife was fine with me hanging out with my friends. It doesn't matter, male, female, whatever.
Yeah.
But when I recognize that I'm changing to appease a girl, it pisses me off. It gives me this bad taste in my mouth, and it makes me say, kid, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, it depends. If the change that you're having isn't a bad change, you got to really think about it.
Mm-hmm.
If the change is I'm missing my friends, I'm not seeing my family, I'm not doing whatever. If it's something that's negative, then fine. If the change is I'm not, as aggressive when I confront somebody over something, I don't get so hot-headed, or I don't. That's not a bad change.
No, I'll agree with you on that. Because over the course of my life, I've tried to be not so hot-headed. I've had some moments, and Clean will see this. It'll rear its ugly head many a time when we would hang out, even outside the podcast here. But again, this circles back to why I brought this up in the first place. Substance. If you don't have if you haven't eaten, if you haven't had a coffee, you haven't had a beer, you know your personality switches and changes. His did as well. Whenever time we would have moonshine, we'd get in a fucking fight. Every time we would get drunk, super over the top, too drunk, we would either want to fucking beat the shit out of each other, choke each other out, whatever, or it was very Clean, you're the greatest. Oh, yeah, we're good, man. So it's good friends, blah, 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 whatever. You go through those things. So I'll agree with you that if it's a good change where you can kind of bring it to. Okay. Oh, yeah. Anyway,
my drunk is it goes two ways. I'm happy-go-lucky, fucking party like a fucking rock star, yay me, and everybody else too. And fuck the world, just whatever. Or depending on the situation, I can get very sad. But I'm not an aggressive. I don't get aggressive. I don't get mean.
I'll get mean sometimes. I think that's one of the reasons that a couple of my ex-girlfriends were just I can't be around that fucking idiot. I've done some.
I get defensive.
I've done some stupid shit, but for the most part, I don't try to be dishonest with anybody. Now, with that in mind, I fling the opposite way, and I'll say everything that is in my brain that is completely honest in how I think. And I think that's what fucking scares the shit out of people. Anyway, I want to shift gears just slightly back to what we were talking about earlier, so we don't end this whole thing just talking about some serious shit.
We can talk about whatever you want.
The rookie, though. Oh. Who we were talking about earlier. Poonhound, get the photos sent to him and all this stuff. He told me a story one time that was so out of my brain system that I couldn't understand or wrap my head around it, right? He went on Craigslist. Okay, which back in the day, Craigslist had all these sexy,
Craigslist is a fucked up shit.
Casual encounters. Do you remember casual encounters? Yeah. You go to read the casual.
You want to fuck?
It was so good. The casual encounters, 35-year-old female, big titties, ready to fucking suck a dick. If you can contact me in the next half an hour. And you read these things, and they were so fucking. They were just over the top to the point where. There's no way in hell I'm ever calling one of these, but we used to read them on the show, actually. We'd go in there.
An Eiffel Tower.
So the one he told me was he would go and read these and be like, yeah, let's fucking do these. I'm going to go fucking do that. Are you kidding me? One time he did one. He went to, I think, down in the Flint area. Couple wants a third. Male, female couple wants a third. He's like, I'm down. Let me be the third. He drives his ass all the way to fucking Flint.
Plugging holes.
I'm like, dude, how do you approach going into this scenario? You could have a guy in there.
I'm here for the gangbang.
Ready to strangle your ass. You have a husband who you come in there. Guys we're petty just as much as the next guy, right? Next person.
I'm not a sharer.
If I walk in, no. Here's the thing about that.
I don't judge you if you want to do that. That's fucking cool. Fine. Like we talked about it like yesterday. You do you. I want mine to be mine. Like I'm not like, oh, hey, how was that bitch you fucked the other day? Fuck that shit.
You sound very much like me. Absolutely. But the thing is, like, as you get into a relationship, if it's at the beginning of the relationship, I think there's a little more leniency because you haven't got the chance to know them. I think that was how Endo and I were at the beginning of it, and I think she took that into account and she just kept doing whatever the fuck she was doing. But as I wanted to build a relationship with her, she was kind of like still doing whatever the fuck she wanted to do in that respect.
Well,
and it kind
is that
of
where
like
that party came in?
We talked about this on the podcast before. So here's the thing: he drives all the way like down near the Flint area. He goes into this area. I go, dude, what do you do when you approach that? Like, how do you get? He goes, well, I bring my gun. So he brings a gun with him into this pretty much cuckold situation where he's gonna bang this guy's
Mm.
wife.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was one of those where the hubby wants to see another guy bang the wife.
What, so you can get pissed off and fucking beat him with a ball bat?
That's exactly what I was thinking. So I'm thinking to myself, you got a gun on you, that's fine, but you're gonna get naked unless you keep your fucking pants on while you're porking her.
Or is your gun up your fucking ass?
Yeah, where are you strapping this fucking heat if this guy decides to start slamming you with a baseball bat? Mm-hmm. So that's what the ad was. I want to watch somebody fuck my wife. I think that's what it was. It wasn't that because I think he said that the guy just sat in a chair and watched.
So he did that.
He did this. I
don't see volunteering for that as a fucking tribute.
No.
No, I'd be like, how many fucking people have you done this with before? Because if you haven't, I need references. Let's fucking figure this shit out.
That's the age I'm at right now, where it's just like, okay, I don't need to be catching this anything.
I don't know fucking heebie-jeebies and shit.
No.
I don't want somebody's fucking saber-toothed crotch critters fucking crawling up my ass. Fuck that shit.
I'm already worried about erectile dysfunction as I reach get close to my 50s here.
We've had this discussion with Dr. Pinkie Pie. If you wake up with morning wood, you're fine.
But here's the thing: over the past couple of months, I haven't been.
Yeah, but your brain.
You know what? It's true. When I was going through some stressful shit back in 2018, 2019? Mm-hmm. Yeah, early 2019. It seemed like I couldn't. My brain, I wasn't getting hard. Like every morning I wake up, I'm like, oh, did I have a boner tonight? No. Shit. Or did I have a boner this morning? No.
You're in your own head.
I am, and I'm like, okay, don't jerk off for like 4, 5, 6, 8 days. See if I can go a week without fucking jerking it to see if it kind of kicks back. This morning, as you were texting to come over to do the show, I said to myself, bring up some porn, but don't touch it. Just to see if the porn will turn you on.
Did you ever play that game with, with your woman or whatever? Like, watch porn as long as we can and see how long we don't fuck.
See,
I didn't. We did that when we were kids. But.
I never watched porn with her. She never. I don't think she liked it.
Honestly, I don't need to watch porn with somebody. I can watch that shit by myself.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah, she did not. I don't think she was into it. I think the one time I went to the bar with her and LB, LB and her are friends, and he turns to her and says, "Are you the one who didn't like the porn?" And she kind of like gave this look like, "Don't say that around him."
Oh shit.
She did. She kind of she shook her head, didn't say any. Kind of signaled that might be the case, but didn't, because she knew if I would have known that she didn't like the porn, I would have poured it on thick. I would have been like, come on, let's get on the show. We're gonna watch some fucking porn.
We see, like, AP and I, we did that shit when we were in high school. Fucking his parents had the porn, so we'd sit there and it's like the dicks have sideburns porn. Fucking as adults, not so much.
Yeah. Not
so much. And I don't know, you always make your own porn. I don't want to make porn with you.
The last two, no, not the last two. The blonde girlfriend I had before, she wanted to film. She wanted us to film the porn. And I think, if I remember correctly, Endo wanted to do a live to the Amazon Fire Stick streaming so as we could watch it while we were doing it.
Jesus fuck. Hey!
So,
OnlyFans?
Yeah, no shit.
Get paid for that shit? I know people that have done that.
Do you really? Oh my God, we could do another whole fucking show on that.
They didn't show their faces.
Remember, kid, this is Goin Deep Show. It's time to wrap it up. We did a 30-minute episode. That's an extra for you, okay?
Fucking A.
More extras.
You're welcome.
If you want to reach out to us, studio at Goin Deep Show, that's the place to do it. We will see everyone very, very soon. Chill to the next one.